is the day the Lord has made, so let us rejoice and be glad in it. My friends, there is a precious little poem which I like very much because it conveys such a meaningful message, one we should all take to heart. It's called Living Sermon, and it goes like this. I'd rather see a sermon than to hear one any day. I'd rather one should walk with me than merely show the way. I can soon learn how to do it if you let me see it done. I can watch your hands in action, but your tongue too fast may run. All the lectures you deliver may be very wise and true, but I'd rather get my lesson by observing what you do. Though I might not understand you in the fine advice you give, there is no misunderstanding how you act and how you live. When I was a very young boy, I remember very well that I had the urge, the longing, the desire, the dream of helping people get to heaven. As I grew into my early teens, I discovered that the best way to help people get to heaven would be by showing good example, by trying my very best at becoming a living sermon, like the poem says. That would mean, of course, feeding the hungry, giving drink to the thirsty, clothing the naked, giving shelter to the homeless, caring for and visiting the sick, also practicing spiritual works of mercy. Oh, and I might add, cooking supper for the residents at Cell 13, the Helen McAllister house, Monday to Friday. When we speak of helping others get to heaven, please remember this. When you're setting a good example by doing an extraordinarily good deed, another person who might happen to observe your act of unconditional love might be moved to turn their entire uncaring life around, get on the right track. Thus, without even knowing it, you just might be the golden hinge which will open wide the gate of heaven for that precious soul. To me, each of you here today is a true inspiration and a genuine living sermon. By the very fact that you are here, supporting GSM and its precious residents. Now, as far as being this year's recipient of the prestigious AMICUS CERTUS Award goes, when I behold the list of the highly esteemed, awe-inspiring, extraordinarily generous past recipients, I must say that I feel totally humbled to have my name added to that list. These are people whom I myself admire and respect so much, along with many, many others here. At the same time, my heart is afire with gratitude. Thank you to those who have honored me this way. Before I close, I wish to thank all of you here, Bruce Fitzpatrick, Gina Pfeiffer, all on the board of directors, Jim Lamott for his many years of service as president of the board and for what he continues to do, Amy and Jan, Carol Morse and her helpers, and my dear brother and friend, Brother Alphonsus, for always being a wonderful living sermon for me to imitate. Ever since we first met in Albuquerque on May 5th, 1968. Lastly, but certainly not leastly, I wholeheartedly thank the residents of GSM because they are, in so many ways, a living sermon also. It has always been, for me, a wonderful honor to assist them in whatever way possible. In a very real way, I am totally aware, too, that they play a very big part in assisting me on my journey to that promised land. As I'm not getting any younger, I'll turn 72 this year, but not before Brother Alphonsus does. If the time comes when the spirit is willing, but the flesh becomes mighty weak, and I may no longer be able to physically do much anymore, may the resident staff and all my friends too know that Brother Charles's heart, Brother Charlie's heart, will always go on caring and loving. Thank you, and God bless you.
We have a presentation for Brother. It's a beautiful mantel clock. I'm going to try to hold it up without shaking it out of this box, so hang on just a second.